During the DC Fandom digital event in late August 2020, Warner Bros. Released the first trailer for The Batman, the upcoming 2021 feature that stars Robert Pattinson as a younger, even broodier Dark Knight. While the trailer doesn't give much away, seeing how only 25% of the film was shot before the pandemic halted production, it's peppered with numerous clues and at least one big secret tease that possibly hints toward a grander conspiracy. The Batman writer-director Matt Reeves hinted at such when he spoke at DC Fandom, teasing that the film will peel back the layers of Batman's origins and take a closer look at Bruce Wayne's family, particularly what role they played in Gotham City declining into corruption.
You start to see that as it starts to describe this epic history of corruption in Gotham, that you start to understand, well, where did my family sit in that?
Reeves' statement, revealing that the movie will touch on Bruce Wayne's origins and question what involvement his family might have had in corrupting Gotham in the first place, has set the internet ablaze with a mind-blowing theory. While there's almost certainly some degree of misdirection going on, if you take the Batman trailer at face value, there are several big takeaways presented. One, the Riddler is the central antagonist, and he seems to be taking things a little bit more seriously this time.
Does anybody else feel like a fried egg?
2, this is a younger, angrier Bruce Wayne, still learning the ropes of this whole being a vigilante thing. And 3, the Riddler, for whatever reason, is not only leaving clues for the Batman, but also creepy personal messages, foreshadowing a personal vendetta that seems to be a mystery for even Bruce Wayne.
You're part of this too. How am I part of this? You'll see.
From here, many fans have theorized that a deeper conspiracy is afoot, one that revolves around the Riddler potentially knowing far more about the Batman than he lets on. There's some basis for this in the comics. The Riddler is often presented as a brilliant but socially awkward manipulator who plays people like chess pieces, albeit in weird ways. In the storyline Hush, he deduces Batman's secret identity. So what if he's done the same thing in the Batman? What if the Riddler knows Bruce Wayne is Batman, using that information as a motivator in his twisted games? Well, if this ends up being true in the Batman, the classic narrative of the Riddler leaving clues out of an abstract intellectual desire to match wits with an equal might be completely upended. Furthermore, if this theory is correct, then the Riddler isn't just leaving riddles to tease Bruce about knowing his weird little nighttime habit. He has bigger ambitions. What ambitions, though? As a number of eagle-eyed fans have noted, the trailer for the Batman depicts the Riddler leaving Batman a card with an owl on the front, and that points them to another area of the Waynes' lives that the Riddler might know about.
How did you figure this out?
The Batman has consistently been described as more of a noir-inspired mystery film than the character's previous movies. With that framework in mind, every clue matters. The choice to use owl imagery is probably not an Easter egg, but rather a clue toward the involvement of the Court of Owls, a secret society comprised of Gotham's wealthiest leaders, businessmen, and politicians. In the comics, the Court of Owls have spent centuries controlling Gotham's underbelly, enforcing the wealth inequality, crime, and corruption that make the city so infamous. Now, remember what Reeves said before regarding Batman being forced to question where his family sat in Gotham's history of corruption. The odds are, given all this, that the Waynes have a bloodier history than Bruce's parents might have ever told him. And while the comics have generally depicted Thomas and Martha Wayne as being charitable and decent figures, whom the Court of Owls directly opposed, the same might not be true in this film. It's entirely possible that they may have even been members of the Court of Owls, or perhaps supported the organization's goals, knowingly or unknowingly. Alternatively, their opposition to the court's corruption might have, in this movie at least, directly led to their deaths.
It's got, of course, action, all that kind of stuff, but at the end of it, it also is incredibly personal for him, even though it is the story in which he's trying to understand and unravel this mystery.
Either way, the Riddler's statement that you're part of this too implies that the entire goal of his puzzles might be to force Bruce Wayne to confront his family's dark past. And if this hypothesis actually proves accurate, it still remains to be seen where the Riddler stands on all of this. Is he serving the Court of Owls, for instance, or trying to take them down? Who knows? All of this might be wrong anyway. In the meantime, it's fun to speculate.
What does it mean?
It's a riddle.
The Batman hits theaters on October 1st, 2021. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite movies and TV shows are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.